Good morning. This is Saving Diane, episode 5, and what we're dealing with here is the fact that these wheels won't move up and down because this lawnmower, Diane, has been left outside in the rain and the weather, and it's got a lot of dirt and gack on this back wheel, and so there's no way that this adjuster is going to move up and down. So we're going to try and free that up. I'm going to show you how to do that, how to clean this up, and how to lubricate it and get it so it's just, going up and down great. This is a 9/16 nut. I've already taken the liberty of removing that using a big breaker bar. I like to do that. You may not have to do that on yours, but this thing's been really neglected, so it was probably pretty tight. And once it's off, then I don't have to use it. I can use a standard ratchet wrench about 6 to 8 inches. So we'll get this thing off. And the other thing I want to do is lubricate this. I've already cleaned it some, that's why it's spinning, but you might have heard that, it's kind of rough. So I'll get me a strip of paper, sandpaper, make it like that, then I put strapping tape on the back so the paper doesn't tear, so it lasts a long time, and begin to clean the rust off of this little axle here. I'm using sandpaper. I've already done it a few times. There's a lot of buildup right in there that's going to make this mower harder to push. We've got more friction, so we're trying to get some of this gack off, and that'll help. And the last step here is a wire brush to knock off the fine stuff, and let's see what this sounds like now. That's a little better, a little better. Now I can go one of two ways. I can lubricate this, or I can not lubricate it. Some people say lubricating it actually accelerates the wear of the wheel, and I don't disagree with that. But it's debatable, so we're going to leave it dry. But as you can see, this thing is it ain't going anywhere. That's because this is all rusted and caked with dirt. So I'm going to knock off the big pieces here. You can see that coming off. And if I can't get this thing unlocked, it'll move up and down. My usual way, we'll figure out another way. But this has to move up and down. Nobody wants to have a mower with the cut level adjuster that's just rusted and frozen in the wrong position. Right now, it's going to cut real high. You may not, the future owner of this may not want that. Let me clean that off too. This thing just needs a good bath as well. So the first thing I'm going to try is just lubrication. Okay, I'm going to try some. This is some JB Blaster, one of my favorites. And all the movements right up in here, underneath this and around this nut. Let's see if this will help or not. There we go. That's a little JB Blaster penetrating oil. It's going to need more than that. Okay. Before I start getting out the big hammers, I'm going to try and loosen that nut a little bit now, or the screw here that goes into the nut on the inside. Now the nut will probably start to spin on the inside, and that's okay, but mainly I just want to free this up, try to get it free. And this is going to require a nut, or a socket rather, that's the same size as the socket that's on the interesting enough, it's on the crankshaft nut up there under that holds the flywheel on, and that is a 15/16 breaker bar. Gotta have it. Okay, that's on there now. Let's see if she'll move a little bit. All right, that moved a little. I'm gonna try and go again. That's a little freer. A little freer. Now that nut under there is probably spinning, so let me, yep, it's still locked up. I've got one notch that I can move down before it's bottomed out. I'm going to try and go around a couple more times here. Now sometimes there's a plastic piece under the deck that hides the nut, which makes this a little more difficult. And I think that may be the case with this one, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look. But first I want to do this a few times. As if I can avoid the having to go under and put a wrench on underneath, I'll do that. Hey, look at that. So a little penetrating one helps, and then see, once it starts moving, man, it's easier to keep moving. So I'm gonna hit it again, under there and under there, and see if I can jiggle this thing back and forth. See, now it's, didn't even have to get out the big hammer. All right, so let me take a quick look underneath here and see if I can even get to that nut on the other side. If I can, yeah, it's under one of those plastic housing pieces. And then you can't take that off. You just have to come back here and take out the little screws that hold that plastic piece on, and then it drops out, and then you can get to that nut. And this is going so well, I think we'll be able to just go with this. See, that's really sliding easy now. Hit it again with another good squirt. All right. Friction and heat in there, that will help too. Okay, now that deck is now going to sit lower so that we cut super short, and this is high. That's the way I do mine, just so I can move them around my yard easy until I actually want to cut with them. So that's how you do it. Usually that's enough. If that's not enough, if it still won't break free, then you can hit this thing with a rubber mallet and boom, you know, kind of shock it loose. But this is acceptable. So there you go. That's it on this part of saving Diane. I'll do that other back wheel and get it all nice and adjustable. Send me some comments. I always like to hear from you.